Alright, on Division Agents, it is Leon Rage and we're back at it again on Tom Clancy's The Division. Now, I kind of wanted to spend this entire week playing The Division, but I might be playing some Monster Hunter because I finally got it and I've been looking forward to this game since it's been revealed. Uh, I was planning on doing some Final Fantasy Dissidia videos, but oh my god, that game was just such a letdown compared to the first two. So, anyways, I'm getting off topic. Like I've done in previous videos, I was talking about gun talents and some of the builds that they complement best with, or at least in my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and continue because I apparently missed this build by accident. So we're going to get on into it. And the build that I'm talking about is going to be the Dead Sentry build. Now, there's a lot of ways that you can go on with this build. You don't need to have Deadeye with this build. I like using Deadeye with Sentry is because of the marksman rifle damage that you get. The marksman rifle critical hit damage is increased, and of course with my lousy ass aiming, you get initial bullet stability, which has nothing to do with aiming. Not that I know of. I don't really know much of the mechanics on this thing. So either way, we're going on talents, not necessarily the build itself, which I probably will explain later after I'm done with the talents. But first, let's go on with the talents. Okay, so the way how I say the Dead Sentry build is basically the Sentry Call build is going to be its main perk, so you're going to want to proc that headshot damage ability a lot more. So another thing to do that is to make sure you got good talents with it. And like I said, these talents are just based on my opinion. I will go through these guns that I have because there are tons of talents that I don't have on my MDR that I think are really good. So first off, going into the build, if you do have the MDR, one thing I like to use is Brutal. So headshot damage is increased by 12% when using this weapon. So you don't necessarily need this gun on this build, but it is very helpful to have, so that way you can have a semi-automatic marksman rifle rather than just having this and maybe an SMG, assault rifle, or LMG. So having an assault rifle that's semi-automatic and then having a semi-automatic marksman rifle is just makes this build that much more better, and it's easier for you to proc off the sentry headshot perk. Another talent that I like to use with this is obviously Ferocious. Damage to elites and named targets is increased by 10%. You could also use Determined. If you have something that maybe you have this build somehow specifically with maybe abilities, or maybe you have the self heal, the first aid heal, this is also good to have on it. What else do we have? Accurate. Accurate is good too. Accuracy is increased by 25%. Let's see what else. Jesus, like all my guns are basically the same. Having Swift, for those who like to have a bolt action marksman rifle, having Swift makes reloading your gun so much easier considering the fact that it's 5 rounds every single time. So Swift is also a good one to have. Destructive, very useful for a bolt action marksman rifle because the bolt action marksman rifle it just does so much more damage compared to the semi-automatic. As you can see, this one I don't even have mods on it, and it does 173,000. It's maxed out at 286, but going to semi-auto, this thing only does 64,000, and this one only does 63. And this one's closer to being maxed out than the double that I have on. So, you do the math. Not to mention the headshot damage percent is only 164, while this is 172. So, I mean, you do the math. And it's also depending on which gun you like better. Most people don't like using the bolt action because it's only 5 rounds and the reload takes a while. But you gotta understand, the power on the bolt action is just so amazing, and it's so useful to have. If you have a really high firearms, like at 6,000 like mine, or even higher, then you are going to be dropping enemies like they were sandbags. Not flies, but sandbags. What else is good to have? Uh, maybe skilled? Skilled might be good. Headshot kills with this weapon increase the signature skill resources. Maybe you have the revival link. Maybe it's just, so close to being filled up. Maybe that 5% can help. I really wouldn't go with it, but it's just something else to have. Predatory. Predatory could be good too for a marksman rifle since you're far away. Sometimes you could get hit, and you are kind of the main of attraction at some points, even though it's really weird when that happens. But predatory is good to have in case you need some healing. Deadly. I honestly think deadly, brutal, and maybe prepared would probably be the best combination for those who are more advanced and are better using marksman rifles. Deadly critical hit damage is increased by 15%. Oh, this fucking train, I swear. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, deadly, brutal, and prepared. I think those would be good for advanced people who really do know what they're doing behind a marksman rifle because I obviously have zero good aim on this. So it's it's just good to have if you're really good at sniping people from a distance. I honestly say roll with those three. Let's see what else can be good. Fierce critical hit chances increased by 5% when using the weapon. It's also good to have if you can't re-roll till you get maybe prepared or something else. Adding more damage on what you can already do is very helpful. Let's see. Cool-headed. I like using cool-headed, but whenever I have a marksman rifle that's on an ability build, so maybe not cool-headed. Toxic. Oh my god. Let me tell you, Toxic has saved my tank's life more than once. There's a lot of times where he's about to get flanked, or he has his focus on one target and there's someone else shooting right behind him. I eventually get the person who's flanking him, and this Toxic perk just pops up at the perfect moment when I get the perfect headshot. Because then it just stuns the enemy and he's just relieved, and he's just like he quickly finishes the opponent that he's facing, and then he just turns around and boom, we got the other one. That it is just it's so helpful. It's helpful whenever you're kind of being pinned down by one sniper who's just constantly shooting you, or maybe they're just playing peekaboo. Sometimes this perk just pops up whenever it wants to, and at the right moment it pops up, they stay up for a bit longer, you pull off that second round or however many rounds you pulled off to kill them. It is good. In my opinion, I think it's good because this thing can help out, and it does clutch work sometimes. A lot of times for me, it's pulled off some clutch moments. Uh, I think that would probably be it as far as uh, talents that I think would go good with the Dead Sentry. Like I said, you don't necessarily need the Urban MDR, which it does help out a lot to have, so trying to farm for this would be good. I don't know a sure method to farm for it, except it eluded me for a good minute. It's eluded my tank. Our guy who plays tank, actually. It's eluding him for going on 4 months. The way how I got this one was through a weekly cache, so completing all the weekly assignments, underground assignments. What else? Heck, even maybe killing world bosses in the dark zone. I've heard that was a good way to get it. It's really just, I mean, you need luck for it. Alright, so now going into the build, you don't necessarily need what I have. Uh, like I said, I only have this just because of the marksman rifle damage that I get with the Deadeye. But you can also use you can use other gears for this too. So this is other items that you can use for the Dead Sentry, or you won't even need to call it the Dead Sentry. But for this marksman rifle build, just to kind of play with it for a bit, I guess. But this is for if you have the Ninja Bike Messenger Bag. One thing I would like to use is probably this Nomad skill. Replace 2 of the Deadeye with Nomad, and then you get the health on kill, and the fact that you're constantly going to regenerate all segments of health bars while you're in cover. Since you're going to be mainly in the back, this is one that I could use as well. It's also pretty good to have. Striker. It increases your stability, and enemy armor damage is increased. So that's also good to have whenever you just want to drop some people really quickly. And finally, I think Alpha Bridge is also good. You get 100% health regen, and you get a 5% weapon damage increase. Defense might be alright, but maybe just one piece defense, and then one piece striker, just to get the stability, and then the protection from elites, because we all know elites hit like a bitch, and they are very hard to kill. So if you don't have the Ninja Bike Messenger Bag, you will need 4-piece of the Sentry's Call. And using 4-piece Sentry, I strongly suggest using the Deadeye, the 2-piece Deadeye, just so you can get the initial bullet stability. Though you don't have to run that. If you're really needing help on your aim, you can go with Striker to give you that 20% stability. But if you're feeling confident that you don't need it, you can run with, where's the other thing? Is this one it? You can also run with reload speed if you're using the bolt action marksman rifle, just so that way you don't have to reload all that, those 5 bullets a little slower. And it also kicks in whenever you have Swift under your marksman rifle. So that's already a 35% increase on reload speed, either 30 or 35. I can't remember what the exact percentage was for Swift, but I do believe it's somewhere between 30 and 35. So that's a pretty good reload speed to have. I wouldn't say Lone Star, mainly just because you get more ammo, but maybe 2-piece Nomad as well, just so you can get some health back while you kill something. Those would probably be the only things I would say running with this build. You know what? Yeah, let's actually go run a mission, and we'll use this build. The talents that I have for these are going to be Brutal, Ferocious, which I can't use, Distracted, your damage is increased by 18% against targets with the status effect, and for my SOCOM we have Balance, Determined, and Prepared. Prepared, damage is increased by 15% when more than 30 meters away from the target. And of course, with my lousy aim, we have Balance. So I'm going to try to run a quick mission with this build, and we'll see how it goes. I'll see you there. Okay. So I figured since I spent too much time talking about gun talents and what other kinds of gear you can put on the Sentry Call build, I figured I might as well just do the easiest one here and just get this Madison Field Hospital over with.
We've got a lot of hostiles inside, Agent. They're holding Dr. Candle and her staff. We need those personnel back at the base so we can get the medical wing functional.
We'll hold here to cover your back. Then we'll escort the medical personnel when you retrieve them.
Okay. So the only reason why I run with these abilities is because I'm pretty squishy, pretty fragile with this build, with only having so much, I can't remember how much toughness I have. So I need something else to hold the enemy's attention, so that way I can get these headshots, if I ever get any. There's one. Only one. Oh, hey, look, I got 2. I didn't even know it. Yay. Okay, you know what? So, like I said, you don't necessarily need to run with the MDR. Uh, if you don't have good aim, like you can see, I clearly don't. Then maybe running with a fully automatic weapon would be a little easier, just in case you need to rush enemies that they're not popping out, or
If you track me
just
to the
mainly
security
because
system, I might be able to find Candle's location.
you're not able to get it.
Patched in. Let's see what I can find. Can you see the CCTV feed? Looks like Candle and her staff are being forced to treat their wounded. That's the only reason they're still alive. It looks like they've got people upstairs, in a restaurant. There's a lot of these guys, but if you use cover, you should be able to pick them off without making yourself a target.
You know what, we're gonna switch. We are gonna switch this up. We're gonna get rid of that. Where is my... No, that one's not. Where's my times 12? Or where's my good times 12? Okay, this one's it. I know the muzzle brake has a bigger critical hit chance, and then these suppressors, especially this Omega suppressor, they have a damn good headshot damage, which you can see right here, 18.5%. Oh shit, I need to take that off the... Okay. So, with this marksman rifle, I'll be able to hit a lot harder. It's just... I have to be careful with my shots, because now I only have 5. You know what, I kind of want to know what this sounds like without it. Yeah, why not? Alright, switch the semi-automatic to a bolt action. Maybe I can show off some better shooting with this. Apparently not. So it instantly dropped him. Okay, that was a miss. See, that one took more than half his armor. See, it took more than half his life, even with that 2-piece armor, and as you can see, reloading this thing is kind of a bitch.
Additional hostiles detected.
Shooting it is also very slow as well. So those are the main reasons why people don't like bolt action. I honestly love it just because of how hard hitting it can be. And of course I suck, so we're just gonna... I'm not gonna spend my time trying to kill him that way.
Additional hostiles detected.
Is that critical? Having a muzzle brake increases your critical hit chance and critical hit damage, rather than having a suppressor increases headshot damage and maybe stability. So that portion is really just how...
Hostiles detected.
It's just how you play. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Nani? There we go.
Candle and
What
her
is
staff
that?
are still upstairs,
Holster.
stashed
Don't
in the
need it.
kitchen at Kobe's. Word is that they've really trashed the place. It would have broken my dad's heart to see it go to hell like this. We used to watch games there together.
Readings indicate this area is safe.
I think it's better my folks didn't live to see any of this. But then I think about all the people doing their best to keep going. That's who we do this for, Agent. Go get them.
Due to the fact on...
To get to Kobe's, you'll have to pass by some contaminated areas.
Exactly
There used
what
to
I
be
mean.
plenty of sick people being treated there before they got be careful.
We're just gonna keep it like this from now on.
You are now
Because
area.
due to how fact this mission is so short, there's just so much dialogue in this mission. It honestly it pisses me off when I'm trying to explain something and I get cut off. So I had to lower down the damn dialogue. I really just kept it up for the just to hear what all the enemies would say. Oh, come on. As you can see, I have horrible aim. Which is probably why I need to put on that striker for stability. But I like the Dead Sentry better. There's that one. I could be using these. Get out of here.
Warning. Hostiles detected.
I should not be this close up to these guys. Reload before they come back. Or that happens. Now I'm gonna get overrun. Great. Turret! Save me. Turret!
The escort party's taking heavy fire from the roof. They can't move until you get up there and take down that gunner.
We're pinned down. There's no way we'll make it across alive unless someone can get up there and take out the big gun.
All yours, Agent.
There's just way too much dialogue for this damn mission. This is either the first mission that they wrote dialogue for, or the last one. So for the first one, they either didn't know what to say for this entire mission, or they're just like, hey, let's annoy the shit out of players for this very short mission.
We have an agent on the roof. Has Candle made it to your position?
Affirmative. Theater staff just arrived. As soon as the hostiles on the roof are gone, we'll get her across safely.
Okay, like I said, I have horrible aim, so maybe I should switch off to striking. I should switch off to a striker. Oh, okay, that was amazing. How'd I pull that off?
Warning. Additional hostiles incoming.
Bullet, bullet, bullet. And of course. Where are you running? I'm on a roll. Okay, I was on a roll. Yep. Was on a roll. Okay. Here we go.
Additional hostiles incoming.
Now let's see what I can do to good old Hutch. Okay. Can't hit nobody. You're gone. Couldn't see you. Okay, this needs to go there. Oh, Jesus. See what I mean? Very squishy. Ah, switch, China. Nope, okay. That was stupid of me to switch off to. And of course I had to reload. Should reload early. And we're done.
Got the medics safely across. Candle and all staff accounted for. No casualties.
We're off to a good start, agents. Wish I could have had your back out there, but I think
I don't even want to pick those up.
When you get back to the base, we'll talk to Candle, and we'll see what she can do for us.
So, yeah. Let me go over the reason why I switched off to the bolt action really quick. Number one reason why is because of the destructive. So I can basically bypass a lot of the armor, and the armor does go away quicker when I have this on, especially with a hard-hitting marksman rifle just like this. Then obviously even accurate can improve my aim for the life of me, but I do need help with it, so that's what I used. Like I said, another skill that would have been perfect for me to have on here would have been brutal. Headshot damage is increased by 12% when using the weapon. So the fact that I have it on my MDR is actually perfect. It's a faster shooting gun, and it still hits pretty hard too. If I were to have it on here with the exact same two talents that I have right now, for me it'd be really good. So that would probably be the reason why. The destructive and the hard hitting is the reason why I switched. So, like I said before in other videos, all these talents that complement my builds are just my opinion. All the talents that I've said before are just all in my opinion. The same thing with adding different builds or gear mods. Not mods, just different damn gear sets along with this is all in my opinion. So, with that being said, don't forget to leave a like, dislike, comment, and or subscribe if you wish. You know, I'm not forcing you to do any of this stuff. So, we might be back later on with more Division videos. Maybe I might be doing some Monster Hunter. Guess you'll just have to wait and find out. See you later.